Right, guys, it is Tuesday, the night before the Reds play Burnley. We've got a lot to get through on tonight's show. We've got the whole thing about Klopp and his bullshit fine. We've got to look ahead to the game against Burnley and our team selection. There's a few other bits and pieces as well. But as I always say, this is your show. And the Late Note Agenda is the show where we ask you to let us know what LFC topics you want to talk about. And we go through it and we have a chat. Look, the one thing I want to talk about here is Klopp was fine, and we'll get to that. I'm just going to wait for people to come into the chat. And there's a few other bits and pieces as well. I've done out my 11 that I'd like to see take the field against Burnley. Not that that means anything, it's just my way of starting the conversation. Still waiting on news of Robbo and Sadio Mane. A few other bits and pieces as well. I see the chat's filling up. How are we? I'm sure everybody was probably watching the game that was on tonight, the Manchester City game. A few other shock results in the Premier League today, actually. It was so funny to see Brighton go down to 10 men when they're 1-0 up, then go 3-0 up, and go on to win the game 3-1. Madness. Playing against 10 men for 60 minutes and you get worse. Roy Hodgson is certainly doing his finest work at Crystal Palace after that great start that he had with them last year. 3-1 win as well for West Ham today against, who were they playing? West Ham were playing Cardiff. Cardiff scored there right at the end. 2-1 win, as we know, for Manchester City, and a 2-1 win for Bournemouth, and they continue their very good run under Eddie Howe. Callum Wilson scoring again, as well as Fraser scoring for them. Right, who else have we got? Who have we got in tonight's chat? Let's see, we've got Matthew, Tom, Kenzu, Logan, Dylan, Mickey fella. How are we? Frankie, Cameron, Val, Paul, Matthew. Lots of people in already. Anthony, Louis, Cart 6. How are we, guys? So, let's see. How long before we can get into it? Oh, there it is. Look, £8,000. Who the fuck cares? It's Klopp we're talking about here, said Ben. That fine is fully worth it, said Mickey fella. Guys, do you know what? Looking at this, I have a couple of things I want to say about this. One, I said yesterday that I don't give a fuck what fine Jurgen Klopp gets. I want to see him doing that. That's exactly the type of behaviour I want from my manager when we score a goal in that situation. Now, there's a couple of things that have been pointed out to me today. Steve Hoare put up a great post on social media where he said that basically Klopp gets paid £7 million a year, and that's roughly half a day's wage for Jurgen Klopp. And which one of us wouldn't give up half a day's wage to go out and celebrate on the pitch by giving a hug to Alisson Becker? I mean, I know I would, happily. But on that, it's a sad day, and again, I'm taking this from other people's posts on social media, people that, you know, have more brain cells than I and think up these things, but this one's pretty straightforward. It's a sad day in the media when Jurgen Klopp running onto a football pitch gets more coverage and more, what's the phrase I'm looking for here? Aghast, is that the phrase? Gets more coverage anyway, and there's more people moaning about it than there is about a banana being thrown at Aubameyang by the Spurs fans. That's the society we live in today. That's the madness of the world that we live in, that a manager running onto a field to celebrate his team scoring a last minute winner in a derby gets more coverage in the media and more hate and vilification in the media than banana getting thrown at a black player by a Spurs fan. That's disgusting. Now, I was going to say I'm not having a go at Spurs here, but I am having a go at Spurs because it was one of their fans that threw a fucking banana on the field at Pierre Aubameyang, which is fucking disgraceful. Absolutely disgraceful. I don't even know where to start on that. It's so despicable. There's no place for that in the game. There's no place for that in society, in sport. And everybody knows this. You don't need me to tell you this. Everybody knows this. It's absolutely fucking disgusting. How dare they do that? And I'm sure many, many Spurs fans around the world are absolutely disgusted to see one of their own throw a banana on the field at Aubameyang. It's just wrong. But the fact that gets less coverage than Jurgen Klopp running onto a field. We're seeing on Sky the debate show talking about Klopp. I'm sure they spoke about the banana as well. But all the highlights, all the major stories, all the fume on social media, all seems to be around Jurgen Klopp running onto the fucking field. I tell you what, if I was the FA, I know which one would be pissing me off more. I know which one I'd be looking to stamp out. And it wasn't manager celebrating. It's the fucking blatant racism showed there. Spurs, a club that have had racism aimed at them at times as well because of their, I believe, their Jewish backgrounds or the Jewish history of the club. I'm not really up on it, to be fair. You've all heard the horrible words that have been thrown at them and to do with the Jewish faith and stuff. And look, as I said, I'm ignorant to the history of Spurs, so I'm not in a good place to speak about this. But for that to happen yesterday, that should be front page fucking news on every sports site, every sports paper, every website, every fucking news article, anything to do with sport, that should be front and centre of, because it needs to be stamped out of the game. So for Jurgen Klopp celebrating to get more coverage, it's a joke. And I'm not just saying this because it's Klopp. I said to you guys yesterday, I don't give a fuck about what happened with Klopp. An £8,000 fine is nothing. It's just forgetful. Don't even think about it. I don't care if Pep Guardiola got away with it when he celebrated. None of that matters to me, because I want to see my manager celebrating that way, and he did. But we can't just ignore the racism. And I'm not picking on Spurs here because they're Spurs, because they were relevant most of the time. I'm only picking on them here because they're fan, and I'm sure most 99.9% of Spurs fans would agree that that was absolutely despicable behaviour. Silva thinks that Klopp shouldn't have been fined, and he's not the only one. Card 6. I seen Gary Neville put up a nice post on social media today again, saying that that's what they want in the Premier League. The Premier League should be celebrating that type of enthusiasm and that type of celebration by Jurgen Klopp, because that's what they want. That's what they're selling the league on, that passion in the Premier League. But instead, they're not. They're fining him. Again, I'm not going to be petty and moan about that fine. I'm sure Klopp gives a fuck about £8,000. I mean, it's £8,000, yeah, at the end of the day, but he did it. He'll accept his punishment. He has accepted his punishment, and we move on. What gets me about this is you just know that all those fucking manx, all those bitters, all the other fans who were complaining about Klopp, that's not enough for them. They wanted the fucker hung, drawn and quartered. An £8,000 fine just isn't enough for them. They wanted Jurgen Klopp to be strung up by the balls. I think some of them were expecting him perhaps to get a ban. Little did they know that the fine was all that was ever going to come to him. It's madness. Absolutely fucking madness. I can see John Bale there said, "You have idiots as well, so not Spurs' fault." Mate, if you listen to any of the words that came out of my mouth, I said clearly that 99.9% of Spurs fans wouldn't condone what was done yesterday. I've said that all fans have idiots, but this happened from a Spurs fan, so we are going to talk about it from a Spurs perspective, you fucking clown. Nice polo, Craig. First time I've seen you without a jersey on. No. I've worn a couple of Adidas polos before. Why are our fans so insistent on having a wank in everything Manchester City do? Again, I was watching BT tonight, and I'm only bringing this up because other fans have been petty enough to moan. Yesterday, I've read articles, I've seen Twitter posts, and I think there was something on the Echo. I think it was in the Echo. That opposition fans had complained about the biased coverage of the Liverpool-Everton game from Sky Sports towards Liverpool. We spoke about this last night on the show as well. And look, whether they were biased or not, that remains to be seen. If they were, fine, no problem with it. If other people want to complain, that's for them to do. No problem with that either. But then tonight we see BT, Robbie Savage and Ian Darke on BT doing the commentary. And I don't know if any of you guys watched it on BT tonight. I don't know where you are in the world, but for me, I watched it on BT Sport. And I'd Robbie Savage, I think at the beginning of the second half, say that they should just give the league title to Manchester City. Just give it to them now because it's over. And then I'd Ian Darke saying for the entire game how amazing Manchester City were. And he was so up their arse that he had to pull himself back on a couple of occasions and say, well, you know, it might seem like we're going on about Manchester City a lot, but they're absolutely fantastic. And then he went on at one point to say, Watford fans might be seeing their team losing, but some of them have to be sitting there going, wow, this is a really good Spurs or a really good Manchester City team. Something along those lines. I'm paraphrasing there because I don't know I can't remember the exact words he used. And I don't give a fuck about that. But you won't see anybody bitching, going on social media, writing posts, complaining. I'm only using it as an example of how petty opposition fans are. I couldn't give a fuck if Ian Darke goes on there, gets his lad out and talks about Manchester City. It's no business of mine. I don't care. I think 99% of the commentary and pundits are shite anyway. Particularly Robbie Savage. He is an absolute clown. Found the perfect pub for our end of season party. The Pickford Arms, said Stephen Richards. There you go. Must be a small place, mate, is it? Very tiny little place. Only fit a few of us in there. 800,000 celebrating. That's taking the piss. You've lost me, Gary, mate. Absolutely lost me there. Hola, Jason. How are you, mate? And I'm saying hola because that's how he introduced himself. Southampton sacked their manager after drawing against Manchester United. Let that sink in. I mean, that's you're in a bad place then. City haven't invented football. 10 years ago, they were nobodies in the Premier League. Exactly. And UEFA have reopened the case. We've seen that. Somebody mentioned it to us last night. I don't know if it was Tom or Ferno. Somebody posted it into the chat last night. So yeah, let's see what happens there. I'm not very fucking optimistic. Look, we'll wait and see what happens. Silva doesn't think Klopp should have been fined. We spoke about that one. Football today is an absolute joke. The sad thing that goes on in the game is embarrassing, and to moan just because a manager runs onto the pitch, get a life. As I said last night, if this had have been Silva tonight, or Silva, sorry, doing that for Everton, or if this had have been Pep tonight, or if it had have been fucking the Wolves manager, what's his name? Fucking Nuno Espirito de Santo, whatever his name is. If that had been him running on, none of us would have given a fuck. Why would we? The fact Jurgen Klopp ran on, I don't get it. And look, it's going to sound biased because he's my manager and I love him. And of course I want him celebrating, but at the same time, come on. It's what you want. He wasn't up in Silva's face giving it to him going, fuck you. He ran onto the field and celebrated. He's taken his fine. We'll move on. But it just goes to show you, it's so fucking hypocritical in football. It's mental. I've no problem with Pep Guardiola celebrating last year, whenever it was, when he was on the field with his players. Fair fucks to him. Couldn't give a shite about it. But the amount of fucking City fans that were on their high horses yesterday, giving it the big and saying, oh, Klopp's a fucking disgrace. Klopp should be banned. How dare he run on the field? Fuck off. Honestly, get a life. I'd love to know from UEFA what the difference between Guardiola and Klopp is. Liam, I don't even want to be that petty, mate. That's you're entitled to your opinion. I couldn't give a shite if Guardiola's on there doing a fucking Irish jig on the field. If your team has won, I want my manager to celebrate. Whether that be Guardiola, whether that be Mourinho, whoever it is. We want to see that type of happiness, enthusiasm in the game, that passion. Fans want to see their manager want it as much as they do. You look like you're ready to take the Ryder Cup by storm in that polo shirt. Yeah, no, maybe the crazy golf course, perhaps, and even at that, it would be a push. I have a few polos, Connor, that I wear when I want to try and look semi-respectable, if I'm going out on holidays or something. 8,000 bargain price. I seen somebody try to start a crowdfunding to pay for Klopp's fine. I think that's a really bad idea. The sentiment behind it obviously was intended to be a good thing, so I'm not having a go with the gentleman over that. But we all know Jurgen Klopp wouldn't want his fine paid for by Liverpool fans, and if the money was raised, of course he would ask for it to go to a charitable cause, a food bank, the Sean Cox Foundation, the LFC Foundation, something along those lines. Something where the money could do some good. He wouldn't want it being used to pay for his fine. He's only got little arms. He's only got little arms. He couldn't touch the crossbar. He couldn't touch the crossbar. He's only got little arms. God bless him. I don't bloody think so. Not while we're in good. We're fighters. No way we're giving up. Craig, your legend. Can't stop watching the video of the Origi goal. Love it, mate. Thank you. Thank you. Obviously, I've got an awful lot of dogs abuse over that from opposition fans, and each one of them can kiss my ass. I could care less what any of them have to say. I watch it back and it's a little bit embarrassing. I didn't realise how my eyes almost popped out of my head at the time, but look, it is what it is. I'd do it again. That's just a natural reaction. The video though has got 71 or something like that, 71,000 views on Twitter, which is cool. So yeah, happy with that one. The commentary is the opposite of bias to Liverpool, said Liverpool legend. What a fucking toss pot, said Mighty Lad. We need a song for Trent. I'm sure there's one being worked on. I'm sure there is. Those guys that write those songs, the Liverpool fans, so talented. So talented. Rival fans are bitter. Salty, no profile pictures and 0 follower cunts, said Louis. Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. Or they have like 20 followers and they follow 7,000 or 8,000 accounts. Who gives a fuck about City? Fuck every other club except Arsenal because of a soft spot for them. And they don't chat shite about us every week. Yeah, but they've got DT, so you know, yeah, is Robbo out for tomorrow? As of yet, Scotty, there was no definitive update on the players. He was hopeful that Robertson would be more of a chance to play than Sadio Mane. Mane picked up a cut on his foot and had to get it stitched. Now, Klopp said he was walking around in flip-flops today, but as Kloppo said, he doesn't play in flip-flops. So he said of the two of them, Robbo is more likely to play, but he didn't commit to either of them playing. So at this point, I'm unaware, but I think we should all prepare ourselves for the fact that we may be seeing Alberto Moreno tomorrow. And just let that sink in and prepare yourself for that. Good idea, Savage. 22 games to go and we give the title to City. 23 games to go, Paul. 24 for us. And we give the title to City. Yeah, he's an absolute clown. He's a fucking clown. Another clown that all our hard-earned money and all these TV subscriptions we have is paying for this prick, this gobshite, to be able to have a living. Stevie G said he'd ran further than Klopp, sorry, and referred to Liverpool as his club. I liked Stevie G's response today actually when they asked him was he too reliant on the centre forward, and he basically put your man to shame and said, well, isn't every club reliant on their centre forward? Weren't Real Madrid reliant on Ronaldo? Barcelona reliant on Messi? And your man actually, in fairness to the journal, he said, you know, a fair point. So good to see Stevie sticking up for himself already. Lukaku injured from tripping over the ball, worth every penny that United paid for him. Every penny of that 75 million, Crosby read. Every last cent of it. It's okay though, because he'll score against Bournemouth and Crystal Palace, and then he'll be amazing again. The match isn't on Sky tomorrow, mighty lad. No, it's not on British television as far as I'm aware. Who's on? It's United Arsenal tomorrow night, isn't it? I'm sure that's the game that's on television. So look, we will be doing a watch along of the game tomorrow. Burnley against Liverpool. I can't remember his kickoff time, 7:45 or 8. Let me just check here, and then we will let you guys know what time we'll be going. So bear with me 1 second. Kickoff time is 7:45, so I should be online getting ready to start the stream about 7:15, 7:20. So if you're gonna pop on, join us for that one. Should be fun. I don't have a clue what team to expect. I've done out a team, and I'll say it to you a little bit later on, and we'll talk about it a little bit and see who you guys think is going to come in. I've seen some team selections today on Twitter that are frightened the shit out of me, I've got to say. I'm aware that you're going to have to rest and rotate players at times, but if we're looking at it that possibly Robertson and Sadio can be out, then I don't want to see much more rotation after that. I don't think Chelsea can stop City. All the London clubs, and I mean all the London clubs, are hit and miss. 'Twas 17 yesterday, countdown to the days now till I can go to the Anfield Agenda meetup. Well, happy birthday, Jason. Congratulations, mate. 17, one more year till you're legally allowed to have a point. Great, mate. You're becoming an adult. Well in. Hey, Craig, hope you had a good day. We just need to win tomorrow. Fuck City. Fuck them indeed. United against Arsenal tomorrow. Somebody's dropping points there. Not that United are relevant to us. What are we now? 14, 15, 16 points clear of them or something? Klopp has a passion for Liverpool. We're not allowed to say that word, Scotty. We're not allowed to use the B word. Get some shades on and complete the look, Craig. Nah, you don't want to see me in sunglasses, mate. I look a fucking state. I look a state most of the time anyway, but in sunglasses it just doesn't work. Even on holidays, I don't wear them. I'd rather almost go blind than put them on. It's sad how the game has gone, Craig. For example, getting a petition drawn up to punish Klopp is embarrassing. I've seen that. I actually retweeted that yesterday to Andy Heaton from the Anfield Rap and said, "Here, Andy, did you sign this?" It's a joke. Absolute joke. And Everton fans starting a fucking petition to get Klopp punished. Well, it was obviously, he was going to get a fine anyway. I mean, he's already been charged, I think, at that point. I couldn't give two shits if Mourinho or Pep or Silva celebrated like that against another team. It's called passion. Do they want robots on the sidelines? I mean, I'm the same. And even if it was against us, I'd be more pissed off with my goalkeeper if I was an Everton fan for what he did than I would be the opposition's manager celebrating it. And I said, Danny fucking Mills on 5 Live tried to compare it to a fan running onto the field and said it was a danger. He's an absolute clown, Danny Mills. An absolute clown. I think Klopp will stay until retirement. Klopp needs passion clubs like BVD and LFC. I don't think he will, mate. I think he'll probably have one more club or maybe an international management after Liverpool. But I don't even want to think about him leaving Liverpool yet. It's far too long away. Do you own any shirts? I can't imagine you in a suit or anything. I used to have it. Do I have a suit still? I don't know. I used to have a couple, but then I threw them out when I lost weight. I'm sure I have a shirt somewhere, Connor. I'm sure I do. I know I have a couple of short sleeve ones, but I think I have a shirt. I think so. I know I've one pair of shoes. I definitely know that. Now I've got a pair of shoes. Same shoes I've had for the last 9 years. That tells you how often I wear them. And you know how many trainers I go through, so. City looked vulnerable when Watford put all the pressure on them. They did actually, Eganito. That's a good point. They did. They looked very vulnerable. And they looked a little bit panicky. And if Watford had have done that right from the start, then maybe it could have been a different result. But in fairness to Watford, at least they gave it a go. I've seen other teams just give up. It might have taken them towards the end, but at least they gave it a real good fucking go. Pickford's favourite group is T-Rex, but a boom. Best 8k ever spent. Craig, don't apologise for passion. Exactly. None of us should ever have to apologise for passion, whether this is a manager or a fan or whoever the fuck it is. We'll catch City and another 3 points tomorrow, said Steve. Damn right, Steve. They're gonna fucking slip up. They're going to slip up eventually. I keep saying this, and hopefully, eventually somebody will listen. Pep Guardiola teams always start off fast. Look back through the years of his management. They always start off fast. And then they usually have the league wrapped up by Christmas. And then they stumble their way through the second half at times, go through little patches where they drop points. And that's where we have to be ready. We have to put the pressure on them. They want the Champions League. He can lie all he wants and say that the Premier League is more important. His job, he was brought in to win the Champions League for Manchester City. That's what he's under pressure to do. Let's just wait and see what happens. All we can do is keep knocking off 3 points at a time and keep doing what we're doing. Next time you celebrate, shout subscribe, Craig. When it goes viral, I'll come and say hello. It's a good idea. That's a good idea, mate. Craig is the new Klopp. Nah, nowhere near as intelligent as Jurgen Klopp. Nowhere near as good looking as Jurgen Klopp. Nowhere near as charismatic as Jurgen Klopp. I think I've got the same amount of kids as Jurgen Klopp, so maybe I have that. I'd rather have my manager show love and passion for my club rather than not care. So would I, Liam. Mane won't be available, said Cameron. Only Lukaku plays in flip-flops. He plays in fucking divers fins by the looks of it. Got sent the picture of Trent last time Everton won at Anfield. It was a picture of a sperm, said Stephen. There you go. Hope we've one of them on the left at least. I don't know what that means, Penny. You've lost me there. Hope we've one of them on the left at least. I'm not sure what that comment. It was probably in relation to something I said and I've just forgotten, so apologies. The FA fine structure: waving arms free, hugging 8 grand, kissing player 12 grand, fucking player 21 grand. Actually, on that, Connor sent me a message earlier on to say that apparently when a player gets a yellow card in the Premier League, they get fined £10, and if they get a red card, it's a minimum £35. That was Connor's fun fact of the day, because he likes to hit me with these weird things every now and again. We need Robbo for Napoli and shitty United, said Scotty. I'm getting so annoyed by teams just surrender them when they play City. Watford literally started the game already beat. They did, but they came into it at the end and tried at the end. If they had tried from the start, they might have had a better chance. Stevie G is my idol, guys, and great and mostly genuine. I like Stevie G as well. I like everything about Stevie G. Oh, there he is. Look, he just said it there. Fun fact: Premier League players get £10, fined £10 for a yellow card. Moreno would spend 75 million Lukaku, and he's a wing back. He's not even a first choice left back. Anfield Agenda is where I'll be kicking back tomorrow night. If it's not on in England, it definitely isn't on in England. I've checked all the channels. So yeah, come join us for the watch along and we'll go through the game together. I'll give you guys as much commentary as I can. I'll just plough through all the phrases calling me a nonce and a ball prick and an Irish potato and all the usual stuff, and I'll just pick out your comments and we'll go through the game together, and hopefully we can enjoy another Liverpool win. I won't be in because I'll be watching my local team score Celtic and Scotland. Nice one, mate. Good to support the local teams. Teams just accept they lose to City and so are playing weaker lineups, which gives a much easier run for them, said Penny Brooks. Nice one, Stephen. Bringing Louise to War of the Worlds tomorrow. Very classy of you, mate. I hope you have a lovely evening, both of you. What have we got? I think I might have it. When we see him come out, we dream of his potential. Trenty's one of our own. When he stops CR7 or when he stops Eden Hazard, when he stops Leroy Sané. I don't know what tune that's supposed to be to, buddy. Club get fined 25 grand if the teams get 6 or more yellows in a game. Fucking hell. Is the game on BT or Sky tomorrow? Neither, Matt. It's not on either of them, buddy. I think they're showing the United Arsenal game as far as I'm aware. Chelsea better show up on Sunday. They have to. Of course they have to. I think Klopp has been dealt with in the correct way. I get this thinking by... I don't know who you're saying there. Fuck Danny Mills, said Stephen Richards. Fuck Danny Mills indeed. Easy Liverpool, how are you? It makes sense that we don't have all them Premier League games on TV in the UK, but other places do. It makes no sense, mate, you're right. It makes absolutely no sense, but they're the TV rights. Every team has to be shown X amount of times. I don't get it either. Surely a day will come where we can buy a package for our own club, watch all 38 of Liverpool's Premier League games, and not have to stomach the shite we don't want to watch. And I'm sure other clubs feel the same. I'm sure United fans, except for Mark Goldbridge, don't want to watch Liverpool. We know Goldbridge loves him a bit of Liverpool. I'm sure Arsenal fans don't want to watch United and vice versa. We all just want to watch our own fucking teams. And the fact that we can't do that, we can't legally go and buy a package to watch Liverpool or United or whoever your team might be 38 times a season is shambolic. The Alamo has been so quiet since Sunday. Good, Stephen. Good. They're all in their fucking place, mate. Tom, talk to you tomorrow, buddy. I got the Liverpool away kit runners. Nice one, Jason. I was expecting mine to be delivered today, and then I got a fucking message from UPS to say, severe weather, due to severe weather, your delivery's been delayed. Fuck them and they're making up severe weather. I don't know what the fuck they're talking about. So, glad you got them, buddy, but I'm still waiting for mine to arrive. I'll be looking at pictures of them. I cannot wait to see those beauties. 8 grand. Klopp could drop 8 grand on the floor and not realise it. I'd take that for running onto the pitch, to be fair, said Will. So would I. So would I, mate. It's nothing. Half a day's wage. I'd pay half a day's wage to give Alisson Becker a hug. I'm sure you would as well. What kit we in tomorrow, said Stephen. I imagine it's the purple one. Oh no, hang on. No, it would probably be the grey one, would it? Because of Burnley's home colour. Interesting one, actually. I didn't research that. Probably the grey one. Because red would clash. The purple one would surely clash. Anybody know that for sure, actually? Anybody know what kit we are going to be wearing? YouTube looking to Charles Craig due to his disrespectful celebration. DT calls for arrest. Yeah, I could tell you what he calls for, alright. And it isn't arrest, it's something else. The league is still in our hands, said Stig. Yes, it is. I suppose if we beat Manchester City and every other team will win it by a point. Only reason I'm on this stream is because of your voice, said Will Martin. I don't know if to take that as a good thing or you're taking the piss, mate, but either way, I'm glad you're here. Per Mignolet's had to sit and watch Klopp and Alisson. Yeah, my heart bleeds for him. El Simon Mignolet picking up his 60 grand a week or whatever it is for sitting there not being good enough. Not much sympathy coming from me, my friend. Mourinho will be sacked after tomorrow's game, unfortunately, because I want him to stay forever. Is there rumours of getting the boot? Oh, that would be so funny. I don't want Goldbridge to be happy though, so I want him to stay there forever. Either way, I'll always find myself a way to watch the Red Men play. I think we're all the same. We have to be careful about what we say. Well, I do anyway, because I don't want the channel getting in trouble. We had a bit of fun with YouTube today, actually. So I finally Connor got them on Twitter, and they didn't get back to him after he replied to them. I got them today, and they asked us to send specific information. So they asked us to send a screenshot of something that we sent to them, and then they said, oh, we'll pass that on to the department in question and they'll be in touch. They never thought of asking what our YouTube account name was or anything like that. So I don't know who they're getting in touch with or how they're going to look into our situation when they don't know the account name, they don't know the email address, they don't know anything other than this fella on Twitter messaged them and asked them what's going on. It's hilarious. It's hilarious in a really fucking frustrating way. But can we re-sign Raggy just for tomorrow? No. I'm going to say no. Guys, we passed 4,800 subscribers, by the way, so thank you to everybody that subscribed recently. Hope you continue to enjoy the content. I hope you can join us tomorrow for the watch along against Burnley. I'm delighted that we're moving along. We were, well, it doesn't seem long ago, we were at 2, 3, 4, 4.5, and here we go. Our target for the entire season was 5,000 subscribers. We're going to get there by Christmas by the looks of things, which is absolutely brilliant. So thank you to everyone that signed up. Thank you to everyone that joined us. On signing up, actually, while you're here, I'm going to just put the Patreon link into the chat. You guys at this point know what that's all about. We're trying to crowdfund to get new equipment. People have said, buy it yourself. I get that. I completely understand that. We've spent $3,000. Well, I've spent $3,000 personally on equipment in the past couple of years on podcasts and stuff. So this time we asked you guys, do you think it's a good idea to crowdfund? You guys said you might as well give it a try. So we're giving it a try. We've had lots of people help us out so far, which is good to see. If anybody does want to, it's worked in €3 cans of Diet Chav. It's just a fun way of doing it. So it's in €3, so we can go 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, all the way up to whatever it is. So if anybody wants to help us out, the link has gone in there. It's really straightforward. Just click on it and it brings you straight to the payment page. What else have we got? I think I have a few more things here I wanted to go through. Bear with me. Yes, so team selection for tomorrow. I wanted to know what you guys are thinking with regards to what 11 you'd like to see Liverpool put out. I went and did up my 11 earlier on, so I'll give it a bash, see what you guys think, see what changes you might make. So Alisson in goal, obviously. Trent, Lovren, VVD and Moreno. So I'm going to give Gomez a rest in my team. Happy to drop Lovren in. I mean, it shouldn't be much there. Have Moreno there in the left back spot as well, because it looks like Robbo might miss out. Now if Robbo's fit, I'm playing Robbo, but I'd say he'll miss it. Midfield for me, which is usually the area where we all disagree a little bit. I've gone for Fabinho, Jimmy Milner and Naby Keita. And then up top I've gone for Shaqiri, Firmino and Salah. Mane again looks like he's going to miss the game, so I'd have Shaqiri out on the left, Firmino through the centre where I think he's at his best, and Salah out on the right. So that's my team. That's the 11 that I'd like to see Jurgen Klopp go with tomorrow. Again, love to know yours. Love to know what you think of that team. Love to know what changes you'd like to make. Yeah, I've seen some people suggest that we rest Trent, we put Gomez at right back, we play Origi at left wing, we play Sturridge at centre forward. There was just too many changes, and this was on top of Moreno coming in for Robbo as well. So I don't want to see Jurgen Klopp make 5 or 6 changes away from home in the Premier League. I know that Burnley are struggling, I know they're not in their best form, but still, we've got to keep this pressure up. If Liverpool starts doing a Man United, but if it did, I wouldn't go on the games, because as much as I would support my team, we're not fools, and it gets to a point where you say enough is enough. I don't know what you mean there, Roberto Pal. I've lost you. I wonder who Trent likes more, Klopp or Southgate. In my opinion, it's Klopp. Of course it's Klopp. It has to be Klopp. Oh, Rod's crowdfunding there to keep Jose United forever. I'll take your lineup, said Liverpool legend. Can I still donate money even though I live in the USA? Yes, of course, mate. Absolutely anybody can. We just set it up because we're in Ireland. It was set up in Euro. But yeah, we've had people donate from all over the world, actually. So we've had Australia, we've had America, we've had the UK, we've had Ireland. But yeah, absolutely. Just click on the link. It's really straightforward. Yeah, all the money goes directly to us as well, so there's no money taken out of it or anything like that, and every single penny goes towards new equipment. We told you guys about the ring light we bought last week, and we'll let you know of any other equipment that we buy going forward. Clavan's team is Raggy, 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 and Raggy up front. So pretty straightforward team there from Ragnar Clavan. Would love to see some competitions on your channel. Is this something you've considered? You're obviously new to the channel. Oh my me. We're obviously very new to the channel. We've given away 5 or 6 shirts in the past couple of months. I think it's at least 5, maybe 6. But yes, it is something we do, mate. But bear in mind that we're a channel that don't receive any money from YouTube. We don't receive any money in advertising. We don't receive any money from anywhere except donations from listeners. So the jerseys that we have bought, we've either bought ourselves from our own pockets and given them away, or in the case of Score Draw, we've had them given to us to give away as prizes. So yes, we do giveaways, but at the same time, We can't keep taking in nothing and just give out stuff and prizes, if you get where I'm coming from. Hopefully YouTube sort us out with monetization, which we should have got a long time ago, and then we can move forward. But yeah, we want to give away loads of stuff, of course. We want to give away tons of stuff to our subs, of course. It's a family on here. And we've also given away other stuff as well that we've posted from our own pockets, a few bits and pieces that we've done offline. And I don't want to embarrass anybody, but we've given people other stuff that we haven't even mentioned on here. Firmino needs a rest. He's barely had a game off since the start of the season, said LFC_5. K-Mac, how are you, sir? Great to have you in. Christian Pulisic has indicated he'd prefer a move to Liverpool despite Chelsea making an official offer. I said this yesterday, Louis. You're only quoting something that I said to you yesterday, buddy. Yes, so on that one, if Liverpool don't match or Liverpool don't want to pay the 70 million, that's apparently the asking price, then I'm sure Christian Pulisic would look at the offer to go to Chelsea. But as you've said there, buddy, as it stands, Liverpool is his preferred destination. But that means nothing unless the clubs agree a fee and we go from there. There's no way Liverpool are going to pay 70 million for him. I'd be amazed for him to do that. Particularly in the stage he's at in his development and where he is in his contract situation. That seems like an awful lot of money for me. If Liverpool started doing shit for 3 years, I would stop going to the games because it's just a waste of time and money. No, mate, why would we? We've seen shit Liverpool for many years. We've lived through the Roy Hodgson era, for fuck's sake. And we were still here, we were still supporting the club. And now time to turn it around for us. And football is cyclical, excuse me, I was trying to get that word out. Cyclical. So, you know, we had our time at the top, United had their time at the top, City have bought their time at the top. And now it's moving around again. It looks like Liverpool could be coming back to a strong position. Why don't you get YouTube ad revenue? They've refused us, mate, because of, what's the exact phrase that they use? Duplication. So there's a problem with YouTube's algorithm. And because we only do live streams, most people just upload videos to YouTube. But because we do live streams, YouTube's new algorithm is picking up our live stream as one video. And then when they process it and it goes to go up as a video, they're picking that up as a reproduction or a duplication of the live stream. So they think it's the same video posted twice, which it isn't. And we've spoken to other people that have had similar issues that have gotten it resolved eventually. But that's where we're at. That's the only reason we've been turned down. Obviously, we've hit the viewing hours, we've hit the subscribers, we've hit every other target that we need to have to get monetized. But as of yet, that's why we haven't received any ad revenue. And this is going on probably 6 months at this point. So 6 months at, I don't know, let's be even fucking generous here and say 300 quid a month in ad revenue and other bits and pieces. That's 1,800 quid gone that, you know, could have been used to buy this equipment. Could have bought more than bought the equipment that we're trying to crowdfund for. The equipment we're looking at was €1,375. So that money could have easily paid for that equipment and given away 6 or 7 more shirts. If we can win the next 2 games against Burnley and Bournemouth, we'll be top of the league before City play Chelsea away. Then the pressure is on them. Nice one, Neil. That's a good point, yeah. Be nice to put some pressure on them, have the points on the board before they go and play. Fingers crossed we do it, mate. Fingers crossed we don't fuck up between now and then. How many subscribers do you want at the end of the year? The target for the entire season, Kirby, when we started was 5,000. And now we've got to, what, 4,800 and some small number, like 4 or something like that. So by the end of the year, if we could hit the 5,000, that would be brilliant. We're not going to be greedy. 5,000 would be amazing. We'd be really, really happy with that one. I know there's channels with lots more, but I also know there's channels that have been around longer than us that have a few thousand less. G.I. Jose is gone. Alisson, Klein, Gomez, VVD, Robbo, Moreno, Hendo, Keita, Lallana, shock, Salah, Sturridge and Origi. Might sound like disrespectful to Burnley, but I seen Connor's team as well back here, so let me go back to that one. Connor's gone for Alisson, Trent, VVD, Gomez, Moreno, Fabinho, Milner, Keita, Shaqiri, Salah, Firmino. Do we have the same team? No, you've gone for Gomez, I've gone for Lovren. I think other than that, Connor, we've had the same team, mate. Where else have we got? Easy Liverpool LFC's gone left wing Firmino, striker Origi, right wing Shaqiri. So you're giving Salah a rest tomorrow? Good night, Stephen, mate, and I hope you and Louise have a cracking night tomorrow, or the worlds, and pass on my regards to your good lady. Harry Wilson is destroying the championship. He's also playing attacking mid in the last few games for Derby. He's such an intelligent player that can find spaces, and he's got a beautiful left foot. We were only speaking about him the other night, mate, and it's going to be a tough decision for Klopp because he seems to be doing everything he can to put himself in the manager's thoughts. As you said, he's playing really well in the championship for Derby. He scored some wonderful goals. That free kick against United was simply sublime. And there's been more. He's been banging them in. I think the other day he scored 5 in his last 6 games or something. So, yeah, he really is putting some pressure on Klopp. And I don't know what Klopp's going to do, but I'm really interested to find out. Kevlar, how are you, sir? Evening, I'll just pop in my head in to say hello while watching the replay. Has the Ramos wearing the fake shoulder bandage been discussed? No, but the El Hadj Diouf stuff I do have written down here. And while you've mentioned it, sure, we might as well talk about it. So, former Liverpool player and all-around scumbag El Hadj Diouf has said that he deeply regrets moving to Liverpool after claiming he was wanted by Barcelona and Manchester United before his move to the Reds. Quoting, he said, I can say that the shirt that I regret wearing the most was Liverpool's, because if I were to do that part of my career again, I would have gone to FC Barcelona or to Manchester United. Mate, look, a little message from us Liverpool fans to you. If we could relive your career again, we would happily send you to Manchester United or Barcelona, you fucking cobra-looking, speeding scumbag prick. Because none of us ever want to remember you playing for Liverpool Football Club. You were a disgrace to the badge. You were a disgrace to yourself. Nobody liked you. You were an absolute scumbag. So you keep pissing and spitting on the club every chance you get. Well, mate, look, we wish you had a fucked off to United or Barcelona and sullied their door instead of ours, because you are a pile of shit. An absolute pile of shit. Give me 25 Bruno Cheroos over you, El Hadj Diouf, you absolute fucking cunt. Now, excuse my language, but I hate that lad. I absolutely hate him. I hate everything he stands for. I hate his face. I just despise the prick. He's an absolute dirty bastard and I fucking hate him. I hate anybody that disrespects our club so much, having worn the badge just because his career failed because he wasn't good enough. Nobody made him spit in the Celtic player's face. I think it was a Celtic player. Nobody made him a dirty fucking fouling prick. Nobody made him the horrible bastard. Just because he didn't fit in with Carragher and Stevie G. He'd be fucking moaning about it since he left. Fucking arsehole. Craig, I don't think it'll cost us 70 million to sign Pulisic. He has a year left on his contract. I'm sure Edwards can negotiate and bring down the fee. Problem is, Cameron, if we go in to negotiate to try and bring down the fee and Chelsea go in and say, yeah, well, we'll give you the 70 million. There's no negotiating there, buddy. If Chelsea put the money down, Dortmund aren't going to have any sentiment. They're not going to want to sell him to Liverpool. They're going to want the most money they can get from him. So it's not as simple as us just saying, no, we're not going to pay the 70. It's up to see what Chelsea are going to offer and see if Liverpool are happy to match that. The only way this really benefits us is, as you said, if we can strike a deal perhaps with Dortmund, or if we both put down the same amount of money and it's down to the player, and in which case it seems likely that he choose Liverpool. Wijnaldum will score an away goal from outside the box. Oh, here's Will's predictions, his mad prediction. Wijnaldum will score an away goal from outside the box, 39th minute, before Sam Vokes scores a header, 58th. Salah will score a volley, 71st, and Firmino a header, 81st, before Wood pulls one back, 90+2. Mate, you're always going for cracking games where we just about win. Can we not just have a 4-0 away from home or something and let fucking Dejan Lovren score a hat-trick? That'd be much easier on the heart. United Stand on AFTV did a preview video. It had more BKUD than a butcher. What's BKUD? Oh, it's gone over my head, sorry. BKUD? Am I missing something here? Again, I'm probably too fucking old to understand what that's an abbreviation for. Last time I had a Twitch, my third child was born. There you go, mate. Congratulations. Keep calling the games and you'll get over 10k by the end of the campaign, said K-Mac. That would be amazing. I don't even want to think that far ahead. Nor do I want to be that greedy, but all we do is keep playing on, and whatever happens, happens. If people like what we're doing and they come on and subscribe to the channel, that's brilliant. And we'll welcome them with open arms. But, you know, all we can do is keep plugging away. Is it Burnley Liverpool playing tomorrow? Is it home or away? It's away. It's away, Roberto. Which would usually be a really tricky fixture, but Burnley they're going through a really bad period at the minute, so fingers crossed that bad form keeps coming and Liverpool can go there and get 3 points. AS Empire's in. How are you? He said, hey guys, I'm so annoyed that these teams let Manchester City walk all over them. When Leon, a team from a pub league, beat them once and almost beat them a second time. There you go. I mean, it showed right at the end tonight when Watford actually had a goal. When they got that goal back and then they really put some pressure on, City looked vulnerable. Now they held on, fair play, they've got the 3 points. You know, not begrudging them that, they've gone and done it, they've got their win. But it showed when Watford put it up to them, and as when Wolves did and when Leon did, that they are vulnerable. As most teams are, to be fair. If you go head to head with somebody and really go 100 miles an hour at them, most teams, you're going to give them a game. Claire is going to go for Alisson, Gomez, VVD, Robbo, Millie, Hendo and Keita. And then up front, because Sadio's not playing tomorrow, so we're going to just put... Oh, I think are you putting Shaqiri on the left and then Firmino and Salah? I'm hoping we rotate. It'll make players even hungrier. Right, quick kind of what am I looking for here? Quick survey. How many people want Origi to play tomorrow? So if you want Origi to play tomorrow, stick a thumbs up in the chat. And if you don't want him to play, perhaps stick a thumbs down. If you've got those options for you to press, or just say yes or no, I suppose. Juff is a whore. I could read that all night, mate. Juff is a whore. Juff is a whore. Juff is a whore. Juff is a whore. Oh God, I love that. Juff's a whore. I'm just reading out comments, YouTube. Sturridge, Mane and Mo up front for Claire. Mane doesn't look like he's going to be available, Claire. He picked up a cut on his foot that needed stitches. So Klopp said he's not completely ruled out just yet. Although Cameron said that he believes he was ruled out. So maybe he is. But yeah, it always looked doubtful that he was going to make it. Excuse me. Apologies for coughing into the microphone. Alisson, Trent, Lovren, Gomez, Moreno, Fabinho, Milner, Hendo, Shaqiri, Sturridge, Salah for King K in a 4-3-1-2. Let me just quickly glance back through that. That's entirely reasonable, mate. The only reason I didn't put Hendo in my team was just the whole thing around Fabinho and Hendo. I know Hendo can play in the 8, but I just want to see Keita. But look, your team is entirely reasonable. And again, that's a team that should be able to get the 3 points. I wish we could delete his LFC career. So do I. So do I. Honest to God, like, you can forgive most things if a player comes to a club if they're trying and if they have a good attitude. I mean, Salif Joe wasn't the biggest hit at Liverpool, but he wasn't a mouthpiece and he wasn't a scumbag like El Hadj Diouf was. El Hadj Diouf is probably the most despised Liverpool player that I hate anyway, but that I know other Liverpool fans really don't like. And it's tough to say that because we all have some players that we don't like a little bit, or that we'd rather didn't play from week to week. But this guy is on a different level for most Reds. Ramos is just a knobhead. It's actually funny now. I don't even get angry because of him. I just laugh. He's a massive cunt. There was a picture, was it Soccer AM, I think, tweeted a picture of Modric going into the Real Madrid changing room and Ramos kissing the Ballon d'Or. And I don't know if any of you are going to get this reference, but I tweeted saying Ballon d'Or forever unclean, and I hope somebody gets that reference, or maybe forever unclean. Yeah, nobody really got it on Twitter, so I hope somebody gets that reference. Craig going mad dog on these bitches. I hate players talking bad about our club, and very few of them do it. And El Hadj Diouf has pissed and shit on Liverpool every chance he's gotten. Darren, how are you, pal? Great to have you in. Paul said, I can't stand Juff. I detested him. In my view, he's the worst player we've ever signed. Fully agree with you, Craig. Scumbag. Can't be as bad as Ramos. At least with Ramos, you got a decent player though, Roberto. That's the thing. With El Hadj Diouf, you got none of that. You just got this absolute fucking smarmy looking prick. This arrogant, horrible, spitting, horrible bastard. Even Diouf's parent probably think he was a mistake. El Hadj Diouf is nothing but a disgusting, spitting, wanker scumbag, said Tom Buckland. El Hadj Camel, I like that one. If he's as bad as Ramos, he must be bad. He's pretty damn bad, Roberto. He is, mate. He's pretty damn bad. Where else have we got? Sorry, there's a few more comments I just want to get through. Shit, where is it? Skip. Oh, there we go. Cool. Duff is the rat that spat on a Celtic fan. He can fuck off and suck Fergie off if he wants to. Even Owen isn't that disrespectful and still holds respect for our club. I mean, he's on a whole different level to Michael Owen. I know Owen signed for the Manx and stuff, but as you said, he doesn't piss on the club every chance he gets, unlike El Hadj Diouf. And I'm not a fan of Michael Owen, really, to be honest, but as you said, he's nowhere near as bad. No, actually, Michael Owen has never, that I'm aware of, spoken badly about the club, but this lad has constantly. I despise Real Madrid's management for silently sanctioning Ramos's behaviour so the Dan can go and fuck himself. If Gomez did that, Klopp would take him apart. 4-0 and a clean sheet for Alisson, said ASM part. That'll do very nicely. 1-0, Alisson thumping header in the 97th minute, said Connor. 4-0 and I win money, said Lars, because Lars bets on 4-0 every time Liverpool play. And that's not a joke, he really does. It had more blood than a butcher. No, they're slang, sorry. I didn't. You must have been a misprint the first time. Blood. Yeah, I don't know what to say. Was it both of them together? So United Stand and AFTV. Oh God, all those cunts in one room together. Oh, no. Oh God, no. There's too much Goldbridge and DT there for my liking. Oh, no. Duff's empty head has the beef and the stupidity to say Gerrard was rubbish. Yeah, he said Gerrard was rubbish. I mean, come on. Honest to God, he's not fit to lace Gerrard's boots. Oh, he went into room 101 ages ago, G.I. Jose. He whose name shall not be mentioned was put in room 101 ages ago. 3-0, said Connor. Fabinho to score his first goal, VVD header and a Sturridge screamer. I'd love to see Fabinho or Naby Keita score tomorrow. That would be brilliant. Nope for K-Mac. Sturridge, Origi and Shaqiri for Rod. Thumbs up for Easy Liverpool for Origi. Thumbs up for LFC _ 5. Anyone know what's happened to Raptor? He's still okay. I still get the odd message from him on Twitter. Actually got a message from him today on Twitter. So yeah, he's okay. I think he's just really, really busy with life at the minute. No for the Revenite. Yes for Sauce Overload. Yes for Connor. Subbed on the 70th minute, said Kigby. Origi from the bench again, please, said Craig M. Will said yes. Claire said, I had Mane down for playing. Is he not playing? I'm literally just in from work and know nothing. I think I'm a bit behind, Claire, so I think you probably heard me answering that one already. I'm a bit behind in the comments, but just in case you missed it, looks like he won't be available because he had a cut on his foot that needed stitches. Connor said, if he's not starting, I'll give him 20 to 30 minutes at least. Give him some minutes, even if it's off the bench. That's probably where I'd be at as well, would be give him some minutes from the bench. And a good few minutes, like 20 to 30 as people are suggesting. And if he shows the same type of intensity, the same type of work rate and effort and determination and, let's be honest, skill as he was when they made that move up the line and skinned the defender, then he's pushing again. I don't know if that's an up or a yes or a no for Lars, but I'll take it as a yes, even though it's a middle finger up. Origi from the bench, said Crosby red. Firmino has been shit, said Easy Liverpool. Oh, he could have phrased it a little bit nicer, mate, for God's sake. He hasn't been great, but we've got to back him to get through it. He's our boy. And we know his form will turn around. It's easy for us, I suppose, to say it's all down to the fact that he's been moved to a deeper position, but there's probably more to it than that. He probably is going through a sticky patch in his, maybe in his confidence, I don't know. But he'll get through it. He will get through it. And I'd rather see him play through it than be rested or be rotated. Well, look, he has to have a rest, but I don't want him dropped because of his form. Brian Morris, he said, evening all, really late, what's the crack? Not too much, Brian. We're just having a bit of a laugh around this ridiculous 8k fine that Jurgen Klopp got. It's a drop in the ocean. The Klopp, it's half a day's wages. We were laughing at the opposition fans and the petition that was started over it, the fans that were losing their mind about it, the people that were complaining to Sky Sports about the biased commentary. We had a little chat about BT tonight as well and their ridiculous coverage of the Manchester City game. And Robbie Savage saying that we should just give the title to Manchester City now at the start of December. Just give it to them. It's crazy stuff. Did you see how Origi skipped past Zuma? That's what I was talking about just there a second ago, buddy. It was unbelievable. Just touched around him and gone. Just pace, power and determination. Just gone. Roberto said, the last spitting incident I remember is Costa, which disgusted me because I really expected it from him. But everyone deserves 2 chances. He's done it more than once. If you're talking about El Hadj Diouf, he's had a few incidents when he went and he played. Did he play up in Celtic? Or he played somewhere else and he had something afterwards. I know he was at Blackburn, but he did something else somewhere. I can't think of exactly what it was, but he did have another incident. Diouf is like a child jumping up and down for attention and nobody who needs attention. Excuse me, Ant. You're right, he's a fucking irrelevant. But he just keeps slagging Gerrard, slagging Carragher, slagging Liverpool. Does he honestly think that United and Barcelona fans are sitting there going, oh, if only, fucking hell, if only he came to us and not Liverpool, everything could have been so different. No, they don't. United fans and Barcelona fans don't want that fucking gobshite, or wouldn't have wanted him anywhere near their club, the state of him. You have to love Robbie though, Arsenal hater or not. Nothing against Robbie. Nothing against the guy that runs that channel. Don't know Robbie from Adam, and I've nothing against him whatsoever. It's the other gobshite that bullies people and, abuses verbally abuses children. Sorry, I had to be very clear about that one. And calls slags off their parents' income, calls them virgins. That's the fucking idiot that I hate. Robbie, I have nothing bad to say about Robbie. I don't know the guy. He seems to work really hard. Again, as I said, just be very clear on that. I have nothing against that Robbie guy, nothing whatsoever. The only Arsenal fan I have respect for is Troops and Robbie. Troops is hilarious in a good way. He always makes me smile when I see him. He's a proper what's the word, character in a good way. He really is. He does make you smile when you see Troops. Backing Wenger to the last as well. So the hug was expensive, but that'll be a Klopp suspension. No, just a fine, $8,000 fine, which Klopp has accepted. So that's done and dusted. He got a fine and I think a warning about his future conduct. No more celebrating Klopp. No more 96-minute derby wins. Bold Klopp. Had such high hopes for Origi a year or two ago, said Connor. Hopefully he can get back to that. What did Diouf do now? Let me just read it out to be fair. I want to get it right when I slag off this gobshite. He said that the one regret that he had in his career was that he chose to play for Liverpool because he had offers to go to Manchester United and Barcelona at the time. And he said, I can say today that the shirt that I regret wearing the most was Liverpool shirt. So there you go. El Hadj Diouf once again trying to become relevant. Just fuck off, Mr. Diouf. Nobody gives a fuck. Rod's going 1-0. Klopp runs on the pitch, scores the winner in the 95th minute, loses glasses, wallet and car keys. On this, did anybody see the Feyenoord fans in the game against PSV Eindhoven throwing the ball onto the pitch into the penalty area while PSV were attacking looking for an equaliser? It was 2-1 to Feyenoord. PSV had broken through, the keeper had made a really good save and the ball was kind of bobbling around the penalty area. Looked like it was probably going to be cleared in all fairness, but the Feyenoord fans fucked the ball straight into the centre of the penalty area and the match had to be held up. Brilliant stuff. There's no room for that in the game. No room for that in the game whatsoever, but it was fucking funny to watch. And when we've conceded goals via a fucking beach ball and that goal has stood, I'm more than happy to say that we can sit back and laugh at a football being thrown onto a field. I really love your video and live, said Tris. Thank you, mate. That's very kind of you. And welcome to the channel. I hope you've subscribed. If you haven't, then please do so, buddy. And anybody else that's watching, if you haven't subscribed to the channel or if it's your first time with us, you're welcome. Great to have you here. And please do hit that button. And of course, you legends that are here all the time, don't forget to drop a like on the stream as well. Just to keep those 2 or 3 dislikes that we get from the same person or the same people on every stream. Just to keep them company, if nothing else. My disliked 5-a-side team. Oh, this should be interesting. From Kev. Right, who have we got? Pickford, Ramos, Juff, Joey Barton and Michael Owen. That's a decent side, mate. That's a decent side there. Right there. An arsehole selection. Joey Barton really is, as I've said before, he's the cunt's cunt, isn't he? Like, he really is the king of the cunts. Again, I do use a lot of language on this stream, so it is now in the notes of the stream. I've put in there as a warning because people have, you know, complained about the language before. I do use a lot of language and we've put it in there as a bit of a disclaimer to let you know that if you're coming on to watch our stuff, you're going to get a lot of language. I've even changed my profile, my bio on Twitter to say, you know, presenter, podcast host and profanity connoisseur. So there you go. So people know even on Twitter to expect language. Although I got a ban. I got a 12-hour restriction on Twitter the other day because of my celebration video. You know, the one that you guys have seen. The one I did when we scored the winner in the derby. Yeah, that got me a 12-hour restriction on Twitter because an Everton fan complained about it. Worth it. Totally worth it. I mean, that probably was as painful to me as Klopp's 8 grand to him. So, you know, I can kind of say I'm the same as Klopp now, maybe. A little bit-ish. Not really. What else we got? Origi's huge potential. He showed that the season before we signed him. Hopefully he lives up to it, said Kigby. But after we signed him, before he came, he had an awful season. He was voted the worst player in Liga that season, or one of them. Oh, Connor has beef with Robbie. That's Connor's own personal thing. Barca fans and United fans probably made fun of us having Juff. I'd say they did. And they're probably, as I said, they're probably counting their lucky chickens. Didn't he ignore Connor? Yeah, the only bad thing I've heard about him, said the Revenai. I think he ask Connor to do something for him, I think. I might be wrong in that one, but I think if memory serves correct, he asked Connor to do some work for him or something. Oh, Connor's wrote it down here. He said, yeah, and I know people who've worked with him before and they say he's gone too big for his boots. Well, as I said, I don't know the guy from Adam, so you know I'm not short of saying things about people and I don't mince my words, but I don't know Robbie, so it wouldn't be fair for me to talk about him. Oh, look, I don't know DT either, to be fair, or Mark Goldbridge, but I know enough of them to know that I don't like them. Harry Carling said, for tomorrow I think Bobby needs a rest. If we play 4-2-3-1, I'd like to see Origi lead the line. If we play 4-3-3, then I think we should play Sturridge. Am I wrong, or does Sturridge like a goal against Burnley? I have it in my head that he scores against Burnley. I don't know why, and I'm usually wrong, as you guys know. What's the difference between El Hadj Juff and a bucket of garbage? The bucket, said Will. There you go. Any news from Spiegel lately? No, mate, but UEFA have reopened the investigation into Manchester City because of the information that came from that Der Spiegel article. So let's wait and see what happens. I know a lot of people aren't very confident that anything other than possibly another fine might come from it. And you see the paper saying, oh, they could be booted out of Europe. Yeah, let's just wait and see. Let's wait and see if that actually happens. Now, Galatasaray were banned from Europe for a season for FFP violation. So again, let's just wait and see what happens. I'd imagine if they are banned, they'll appeal it anyway, and God knows what the Court of Arbitration for Sport will come up with. They let AC Milan back in, although look, I don't know all the ins and outs of the AC Milan case. Where is Milner? He's back. He's back, mate. He just wasn't chosen at the weekend. There's nothing wrong with him. He's not injured or anything like that. Henderson was banned, as you know, for the derby. But no, Milner's fine. Maybe he just got a rest. 2-0 win tomorrow. Millie from the spot and Bobby hopefully, said mighty lad. it is great having Milner taking penalties, isn't it? I mean, when we had Gerrard, you were really confident he was going to score. And Milner's the same. Look, I know he missed one against Southampton, but he's pretty damn good from the penalty spot. I hope I haven't jinxed him now. I fucking hope I haven't jinxed him. The beach ball, I forgot about that. I can't believe that goal actually stood, Kev. I mean, madness. Imagine that going to VAR actually. Yeah, no, hang on, no, we're just going up. Yeah, hit the beach ball. What do I do? What the fuck do I do? Hit the beach ball. That would be brilliant. Someone should do that to City every time they enter the box. They won the ball on the shithousery, as Elliot Hackney said. Brian Morrissey said, Juff can suck my motherfucking balls. Again, there you go. Just reading out comments. I wish we could use the C word on this side of the pond, said K-Mac. Mate, I'm hoping to emigrate to America in the next 18 months, and I will be using it left, right and centre when I'm over there. Don't you worry about that. I will single-handedly make a case for the C word, because you can use it in a positive way. It doesn't always have to be a negative word. Like, I mean, I can call my best friend a cunt and be a compliment. Hey Craig, how are you today, mate? I'm very good, thank you, Ryan. I hope you're the same, pal. Thumbs up if Craig should drop a diss track on Gar. Craig ain't dropping a track on anything because Craig can't sing, rap or entertain to save his fucking life. Do we need a defender? Maybe a backup left back for Robbo. If Matip moves on, then possibly a centre back. But other than that, I think we're okay. Bring out the New Balance shoes and do a review on them. I wish I would, Stephen, if I got them, mate. I just said to the guys earlier on, I got a UPS notification to say that they were delayed. They were supposed to be here today and they were delayed because of bad weather. I don't know where the fuck this bad weather was, but it wasn't here. So I'm still waiting for them. But you got your nice 95, so the world is still good, Steph. Steph got himself a nice pair of 95s, kind of like the colours of the LFC away kit. So, you know, can't complain, Steph. They're nice kicks, mate. What else we got? Ramos, Terry, Barton, Juff, Ronaldo. That's a five-a-side team right there of assholes. Ramos, Terry, Barton, Juff and Ronaldo. Interesting. Did anybody see the cartoon, the Champions League house cartoon that's doing the rounds? It's from BR Football, I think it is. It's absolutely brilliant. It's on my Twitter account if anyone follows me on Twitter. And I've changed my Twitter handle to the one we spoke about. It's at Craig the Host now, if anybody is trying to follow me on there. So it's at Craig the Host, all as it sounds. But on there, I retweeted the video. So it's a good 8-minute long video. So if you want to watch it and you can't find it any other way, just jump onto my account and it's there and you can watch it. It's brilliant. Really, really funny. Craig, did it end up being a fake account or did Mark actually follow you on Twitter? No, it was a completely fake account. I knew it was going to be fake once I had the words extra time after it, because he came on one day from the real account and there's no reason for him not to have come on from that account. I knew at the time it was going to be a fake one. That's why I said message me on Twitter, because I knew he couldn't fake that. He had to message me from a real account if it was on Twitter. And no, didn't get anything. Oh, that day will come though. The day will come. But I always said to Connor, if it ever was a case where I was going to do something with Mr. Goldbridge, I wouldn't want it to be over the internet. I would want to be sitting in a room to really get the full experience of having a little back and forth in a purely, you know, calm and composed way. I mean, no physicality involved whatsoever. That's not who I am. But I would love to do it someday. It would be very funny. And now with himself, with Mr. DT, happily, as I said, happily do a charity boxer match with that prick. Banning City from the Champions League is a joke. They won't win anything. Strip them of their title. If City get banned from the Champions League next year, 5th place could go to the Champions League. Maybe Everton. Maybe. I don't see them getting banned though. But look, let's just wait and see what happens. You know, if they get banned, then they're going to absolutely make martyrs out of themselves. They already hate UEFA, actually, to be fair, for Manchester City fans. Or else we got if City get banned from Champions League, we've done that one. Banning City from the Champions League is a joke. They won't win it anyway. Strip them of the title, said Rod. Yeah, but I can't. They can't. It would. Well, the Premier League, I suppose, could hold their own investigation, but again, they won't. Honestly, as much as I hate people giving our captain stick, can't see how he gets in at the team at the moment. He hasn't offered anything recently. Look, Owen, I've defended Jordan Henderson many times on here, and I hate to hear anybody talk badly of him from anything other than performances. I mean, everybody's open to be criticised for a bad performance, but you know what I'm talking about. Some people have gone completely over the top. But like what you've said, Owen, I'm with you. At this moment in time, I wouldn't have him in my midfield. I think that there's better options. Fabinho, I think, played well enough in the derby to retain his place. Naby Keita is only getting back to fitness, and I'd like to see him in there. And then you've got Henderson, Milner, Naby Keita, all kind of vying for, Henderson, Milner, Gini, Wijnaldum, all vying for one place. At the moment, for me, I'd rather see Milner or Gini in there. Probably Gini, but I'd like to give him a rest tomorrow. So yeah, I get exactly where you're coming from on. Evening everybody, said Sean. Sean, how are you, mate? Great to have you with us. It was a nickname at a job site, said K-Mac. I'm not sure what that was about, but we'll move on. The number of times we hear VAR having a look at this next season will be ludicrous. They really need to sort out what's going to happen inside stadiums, particularly the likes of Anfield, the ones that don't have a big screen, because the fans are going to have to be kept up to date with what's going on, or it just won't work. Sorry, I'm just looking back through my notes here. I still can't get over that whole Aubameyang banana thing. That's so fucking disgusting. To see that in the league in this day and age. And let's just, look, it was a Spurs fan. We can't move away from that. But let's just park up any particular club for the minute, because it was a fan. It wasn't the club that threw the banana. It was just some dickhead in the crowd. And as people have pointed out, there's absolute pricks in every fan base. And there's no doubting that. But for anybody to throw a banana onto a football pitch at a black player is, as much as it angers you, it's sad. It's saddening that people actually feel and think this way in this day and age. Jesus, when we had a weekend where clubs were wearing the rainbow laces to support the LGBT community and their rights, which was beautiful to see. I was so proud of my club for taking part in it as well. So proud to see to see VVD wearing that armband. So proud to see the players wearing those laces, and so proud to see the two LGBT teams playing at Wembley, which was great to see as well. The FA did that for those two teams, and in a weekend where we've moved so far as a society, we've just come a long way, and to go back to the fucking dark days where some prick throws a banana on a football field on a black player, how the fucking dare he? Aubameyang deserves, and as any player on the field, deserves absolute respect. Yeah, banter with them and all, tell them their shit. But, come on. Racism? We don't need that in our fucking sport. We don't need that in society. Racism, homophobia, fucking xenophobia, anything like that. We need to get all that shit out of the game. Banter is sound, but we all know where the line is that we shouldn't cross. And I'm sorry, but fucking a banana on the pitch is deplorable. And thankfully, they found that prick, and he tries to say he wasn't racist. Fuck you. He didn't throw a fucking orange on the pitch. He didn't throw a fucking kiwi on the pitch. He threw a fucking banana on the pitch. So that was premeditated. That prick knew what he was doing. He didn't just happen to go to the game and thought, you know what? After those 15 or 16 points, and I don't know if he was drinking, by the way, I haven't got a clue. I'm just, having a laugh here. Do you know what I need? I need some potassium. So I'm going to stop off at the greengrocers on the way and get me a banana, because that's what I need. I'm really hankering after a banana right now. And then, just as I was about to eat my banana, Aubameyang went and scored. And I thought, well, I've nothing else to throw at him. I wish I had a kiwi. I wish I had a ham sandwich, but I don't. I only have this banana. So let me throw the banana at him. Fuck off. He knew what he was doing. He's a scumbag. I hope he gets banned for life from football. And I'm sure every Spurs fan thinks the same way, because you can't judge an entire club by one fan. We've got to be really, really, really clear on this. Liverpool fans have been dickheads. United fans have been dickheads. Individual fans can't. You can't hold an entire fan base accountable for one prick. As much as Manchester City would like to hold an entire a Copperberg for their Champions League exit, they'd like to blame a can of Copperberg on that. It can't be done. So fuck this guy. I hope the police throw the book at him. I've no doubt that Spurs will throw the book at him. I hope the league throw the book at him. Oh, it's just so fucking disgusting. The blue shy did it when Barnes when he started doing keepy ups. What a legend Barnes he is. I love John Barnes. Absolutely love John Barnes. Good old digger. What if he threw the banana at Bellerin? Although Barnes did have a moment as well in the Big Brother house, let's not forget, where he said something that wasn't really acceptable. Henderson's a great captain, but I personally wouldn't take him at my club. Just my opinion, said Roberto. Hey, of course, you're fully entitled to your opinion. The blue side did it with Barnes. The racist gesture from that Spurs fan reminds me of the racist abuse Barnes got when he played for us. It's absolutely grim and disgraceful. Why should he be arrested and have his knob chopped off? The rat. Was it Sully Montari or somebody like that who was booked in Italy for complaining to the referee over being racially abused from the stands? I mean, what the fuck is going on? Still a long way to go, Craig, on hate crime and language people use against others. It's a lot of the time, mate, it's that mob mentality. So when it's easy to get swept away when you're with a group of people that are acting stupid, and I don't know any of. I'm not using the Spurs fans as an example for this because I don't know what group of people that fellow was with yesterday. I'm just saying, you're seeing time and time again where a group of people are there and they're all charged up, and one person does something and then a fucking riot can break out. So yeah, there is a long way to go, but it's up to football fans to police each other as well. I mean, I know and you know, and I'm sure most of the guys out there, most of the United fans, Spurs fans, Arsenal fans, if we've seen our own fan base acting up, we tell them to sit down and shut the fuck up. That's what you do. You know, you one, you don't want your club to be sullied, but two, you want your fans and you want to look out for people. So their self-policing does go on. But fuck me, I'm sure the Spurs fans are sick, absolutely sick at what this prick has done. My best mate was at the Arsenal game. He's been to plenty. He said Eric Dyer is the worst player he's ever seen live. I've been saying for a long time I don't understand what it is Eric Dyer brings to a football team, Brian. Would you play Origi tomorrow and give Bobby a rest? Asked Owen. We just asked that question a while ago, and most people seem to think, Owen, that he should either start or at least get a good 25 or 30 minutes, that he deserves a chance to prove himself again. Aubameyang should have peeled the banana and eaten it like Dani Alves did. Yeah, that was brilliant by Dani Alves, in fairness to him. That was brilliant. Best way to reply to that gobshite as well. Fair play to him. The man claimed he found the banana skin outside and just decided to pick it up and put it in his pocket, and then it was all he had to throw. He fuck off. Gobshite. Oh yeah, I was just being a good citizen picking up a litter, and I'd nowhere else to put it. I mean, one of the 50 bins inside the stadium, I just kept forgetting about it. But then I remembered all of a sudden when I was angry that I had that banana skin in my pocket. Fuck off. Who does he think? Does he think people are stupid? You can't stand Dani Alves, but when someone threw a banana at him, I was disgusted. As you should be. As you should be. And it was, as people have said, his reaction was brilliant. That was brilliant from Dani Alves. Yeah, there's just no place for that in this day and age. Just none whatsoever. This racism needs to stop because it makes me feel bad, said Kirby. It's disgusting. How pathetic is it? It's like this whole thing of calling people a nonce on Twitter or a virgin. What the fuck is the point of that shit as well? It's basically the reply of an idiot who has nothing better to say or can't think up a persuasive argument. It's literally just the dumbest people in the world respond with that phrase, as far as I'm concerned. If you have something to say about somebody, write it out, say it, make your point, or disprove something somebody says, but nonce, virgin, or racist abuse, it's just ridiculous. All that type of shit is just crazy. Ryan Brewster had to come publicly at 17 because UEFA did nothing to stop the abuse he was getting. I remember that, and I remember when he played away as well that was it against Red Star? There was some racial abuse against him, if memory serves correct. Although I don't want to sully their name if it wasn't Red Star, so apologies if I got that wrong. When monkey chants were thrown towards Matuidi, he started crying, and I just thought that we haven't advanced. It's a fucking disgusting. That's so sad, Roberto. I mean, Matuidi absolutely, of course, didn't deserve that. As no player should have to listen to that shite. It's sad. It's sad. Manager should just take his team off the pitch. Fuck the fine. Fuck whatever's coming. Just take his team off the pitch if one of his players has been abused like that. If the referee isn't going to do his job, then as a manager, I'd expect to see the manager take him off the pitch. I'd be almost certain Alex Ferguson would do it. I'd be almost certain Klopp would do it. Mourinho. Any of the managers that have a backbone, I'm sure, will take the players off and deal with that shit. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. Having been at the receiving end of racism myself due to darkish skin, I have preferred fruit thrown to baseball bats and broken beer bottles. Not good enough. It's, Rod, it is, mate, you're right. It's sickening. Fucking sickening. Racism never went away, just underground. It's creeping back out all over the world. Yeah, look, to be fair, we're probably moving towards a political conversation here, and this is one that I don't feel clued up enough to discuss, so let's push back away from it and push towards something good. What we finish up with tonight, a bit of good news or something happy to finish up tonight's stream. Right, here's one to finish up. Who's going to finish top scorer in the Premier League this year? There's a good conversation to finish up on tonight. Who's going to finish Liverpool's top scorer and who's going to finish top scorer in the Premier League? So let me know. Is it going to be Mane? Is it going to be Salah? Is it going to be Firmino? Sturridge perhaps coming from nowhere for Liverpool? And who do you think is going to be in the Premier League? Aubameyang, said the Revenite, which is a good shout. That goal he scored from outside the box was just unbelievable. There was no saving that. Like a rocket into the corner. Salah. Liverpool top scorer Mane, said the Revenite. I think me and Connor said Mane at the start of the season as well. We had a conversation with each other. No, he's gone for Salah there now. I'm sure Connor, we said Mane at the start of the season. Aubameyang for Joel, Aubameyang for Connor. Mane for Liverpool, Aguero or Aubameyang, or Kane if he wakes up. Aguero, if he can stay injury free, has every chance of being there, but he always seems to go through little injury spells here or there. And I know he had his knee, but that was worked on in the summer. So who else we got? Aubameyang and Mane, said mighty lad. Even though I love Mo, Aubameyang will be the top scorer in the league, said LFC_5. Salah for Liverpool and Aubameyang. Loads of love for Oba, which is good to see. He started the season very well anyway. Salah and Oba, said Kigby. Or no, said Brian, sorry. Aguero if he keeps fit, said Kigby. I've got a tenner from the start of the season with my mate. Me, Salah, him, Aubameyang. Interesting one there, Kev. That could go right down to the wire. That's an interesting bet. Aubameyang for the Premier League and Mane for Liverpool, said Tom. Connor said I had said Mane, but I think Salah now. Origi for Paul Turner, good man. Love that optimism. I think you're speaking on behalf of Ferno. Kigby said Liverpool will be... What's this? Liverpool would win the... I don't know what you're trying to say. Liverpool would be Salah, Premier League would be Mane. Or Sane. I don't know what you're trying to say there, mate. You've lost me. Liverpool would be Salah, Premier League would be Sane. You think Sane is going to finish top scorer? Sorry. Okay, fair enough. Scored again today, by the way, for Manchester City. Kante, because his finishing is world class. Not Ozil, said Rod. I'd be fairly certain you're right on that one, Rod. Not Ozil. You probably wouldn't even get odds in the bookies on not Ozil. VVD will be our player of the year, I reckon, said Connor. Big Divock to win the Golden Boot. Aubameyang has scored 10 goals from his last 10 shots on target. That is ridiculous. That is absolutely ridiculous. In a good way, like for him. Ridiculous. 10 goals and 10 shots on target. And then you had poor old Jesus tonight. He just can't score. He was awful. Absolutely awful. That was my phone, thinking that I was talking to it when you heard that. Bing bing. Player of the year will be Mitrovic. He's had a good start, to be fair, Alexander Mitrovic. Interesting to see if Fulham can stay up. I think they will. I hope they will. I like Fulham as a club. LFC_5 said, I love Aubameyang. He seems like such a positive guy and he was found by Klopp, so it shows Klopp has good recruitment. K-Mac, talk to you soon, mate, if you're heading off. Always a pleasure. Great to have you on with us. Joel said Alonso for top scorer. Lukaku, said G.I. Jose. Now, come on, mate. We're trying to have a serious conversation here. Divock to score 10.5, said Ross. 10.5. Were we giving him 1.5 for the one he scored against Everton? On that one again, for anyone who missed last night's stream, I just want to take a moment again to say, on that goal that Divock Origi scored, he deserves immense credit, not only for scoring it, but for following up the miss hit from VVD, because most strikers, a lot of people would have just watched that, but he followed it in, put pressure on little Jordan Pickford's arms, and Pickford fucked up, the ball bounced off the crossbar and he headed it in. But if he didn't follow that up, then he would never have scored that goal. So he deserves massive credit. And if there's any younger people watching the stream, that's what you do. You take that chance. Goalkeeper can always make a mistake. Always follow it in if you're a young striker. Who would be a good outside shout for the Golden Boot? Someone you wouldn't expect. I don't know, mate. Giroud, if he starts playing more at Chelsea. I don't know why. I just think maybe he could score a few, but the Golden Boot probably a bit past him. I mean, the guy from Bournemouth, Wilson, he seems to be scoring for fun. He scored again tonight. That's the only one I can really think of. My granddad for Player of the Year beat me 10 times out of 10 on Minesweeper. There you go. Fair play to granddad. Obviously teaching you a lesson. Salah can still be top scorer for goals pick up. He's 2 goals away from top with 1 game in hand. Interesting. Glenn Murray, that's a good show for an outside one. Scored again, a penalty today, I think. Sterling would have a great shout at top scorer if he played more. Imagine if he could shoot as well, Brian. He's look, all joking aside, and people call him a snake and all, he's an exceptional footballer, Raheem Sterling. He's really, really fucking good. If he had that finish, he'd be unbelievable. I think in the market at 50 million quid, they've got their money's worth now with Raheem Sterling. I don't know what wages he's on now, probably something ridiculous, but he's delivering. He's doing the job for Manchester City, so kills me to say it. I wish he failed, but he hasn't. He's done pretty well. Liverpool will buy Pulisic. He'll be top scorer for Liverpool and in the Premier League in 5 months. There you go. Optimism par excellence there. Did anyone see that guy on Twitter who actually got Divock Origi's name on his leg? Yes, I did. And the way he got the tattoo was brilliant. So instead of it being like just Divock across his leg, he got Divock, but the I was a 1 in red and the O for the OC was a 0 for Everton in blue. Brilliant. Really good tattoo. And you know what? He held up his end of the bargain. So, you know, Connor, take note. If Liverpool win the league, you better start thinking about that Michael Edwards tattoo, buddy. Raul from Wolves, said Tom. That's his show for an outsider. Mitrovic, said Connor. Mahrez from Mighty Lad. Man City players are getting goal chances put on a plate. Sterling or Sané wouldn't be a surprise, said Kigby. There you go. So, guys, look, we shall leave it there. I will be back tomorrow, as I said, at about 7:15, 7:20 for the watch along of the Burnley game. Hope you can join us for that one. It's always been a pleasure. A bit of a shorter one tonight because I'm not feeling great today, so I'm going to push off a few minutes early. But look, I hope you can join us for that tomorrow. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you haven't done so already. And just to finish up, I will post in that Ko-fi link again for anybody who wants to hit it there. But thank you guys for joining as always, and I will talk to you soon. Up the motherfucking Reds.